I can evaluate an algebraic expression. Here's what you need to know. Evaluating means that you're giving a value to the variable. So you're saying that the variable, like x or y, is actually taking on a number value. The variable is going to be equal to some number. In order to evaluate, you're going to put that number in the place of the variable everywhere that you see that variable in the expression. So let's do an example. Evaluate this expression when x equals 2. 7 times x minus 4 times x plus 5 plus 2. When I evaluate an expression, that means I'm going to take the variable, in this case x, and I'm going to replace it with what x is standing for. This tells me that x is standing for the number 2. So we're going to put the value 2 everywhere that we see x inside this expression. So here's what that looks like once we plug the 2 in everywhere that we see an x. And then we're just going to follow the order of operations. But be very careful. Remember that a coefficient, and come up here to the original, 7 times x right here, this shows multiplication. Don't write a 7 immediately followed by a 2 and think that it means the number 72. You need to show that that is multiplication. So I'm using parentheses to show multiplication, 7 times 2. Now we can do the order of operations. If my cursor would pop back up. We're going to use the order of operations to finish working this thing out. So the order of ops tells us to do parentheses first. That means the 2 plus 5 in parentheses is going to be worked out first. These first set of parentheses is how I'm showing multiplication. There's nothing to do inside those parentheses, so those don't really count. Let's go ahead and work out the 2 plus 5. That becomes a 7. Now I'm going to look for any exponents. I don't see any. So we move down the order of operations. We're going to do multiplication and division in order from left to right. The multiplication that I see is the 7 times 2, and then I also have a 4 times 7. 7 times 2 is 14, 4 times 7 is 28, and now I see that the only thing I have left is addition and subtraction, but I work that in order from left to right. So we're going to do 14 minus 28 first, followed by plus 2. Our final answer for evaluating this expression would be negative 12. Go ahead and pause, try this one, and we'll check it together. Evaluate the expression when h is equal to 4. The first thing we're going to do is place a 4 everywhere that we see the letter h inside our expression. Again, be very careful that when you are multiplying with a coefficient that you're actually multiplying. You're not treating this as the number 154. This means 15 times 4. We're going to use our order of operations to work this thing down. We start with our parentheses, which would be the 4 plus 1. That gives us 5. Now I'm going to look for any exponents, and I don't see any. We're going to work out our multiplication next. So that's going to be the 15 times 4 and the 11 times 5. It gives us those values, 60 and 55. Now we do addition and subtraction in order from left to right. 3 minus 60 gives us negative 57. Then we're going to add 55. My final answer for evaluating this expression is negative 2. If you want more on this topic, check out the Learning Target spreadsheet for additional resources, videos, and practice.